my favorite NBA player of all time because I took what he did best and I incorporated with myself.
Yeah, and I never knew that, though. I swear. But I see it. I seen it. You know, I never knew that.
I studied him, like, really, like a test. I really studied him. And I was like, man, this is what I want to do. And I ended up getting, like, I did used to shoot, you know, at a younger age in the backyard. I probably used to shoot 500 shots a night after school in the cold, in the snow, everything. And it, you know, people might look at me like, no, you didn't. You could ask my mom, I did. Like, gloves on. It was to the point where in the park when we played, I really didn't miss. And people used to be like, man, what is this guy doing? And again, I'm a green little kid. I'm just doing what I see and what I hear. And it translated. And, going into high school and then college, from a college standpoint, I knew that for me to sustain and to belong, I had to practice. Yeah. And I had to be perfect. And, I was one of those guys in college where after a game, if I didn't shoot how I thought I should shoot, I would go to the rec and play with the regular students. And I remember the president and AD used to come, you can't do this. And, it goes into the Michael Jordan. You watch the documentary, Love the Game clause. It was like, man, look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm here to play basketball. Right. I'm not here to go to school. I'm not worried about school. School is secondary to me. School is easy. Yeah. But for me to be this person who I want to be on this court, I got to work. And that's what I did. And they never messed with me since.
Yeah, just that love of the game, man. You, like you said, you had it since you was, from what I'm hearing, 5.
Oh, yeah, it was that.
And so, man, going to Bradley all 4 years, like you said, you closed it out, got a new coach, did your thing, man, put up crazy numbers. I'm pretty sure you broke some records. You got some records in Bradley.
Oh, yeah. Free throw, my senior night, I was 24 for 25 on the free throw line. I got that record.
That's wild. You was on your James Harden that night.
My senior year, I needed to average 20.1 points a game to finish second all time in scoring. But I got hurt, stress fracture in my foot, with 12 games into the year. And I missed 11 games. And I ended up finishing 8th all time in Bradley School. But that's a deep story. I know you probably want to tap into that too, because that tells a lot.
Yeah, them injuries, man. Them injuries, that's usually, like, even when we talk about, on the later episode, like, them injuries, I feel like if it wasn't for those, it probably would be a lot different. Well, I knew it would be a lot different. Just because, like I said, everything was there. But them significant injuries, especially back then, they ain't played about, you probably got a high ankle sprain. They would take you off them draft boards.
You off. I call it the "What have you done for me lately?"
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with me. I was averaging 27 points a game my senior year through 12 games.
27 points.
I was 4th in the nation at the time. And we were 10-2. We were like, in the paper, I don't know if they do it now, but it'll be top 25 and then other teams receiving votes. Mm-hmm. We was the first team, Bradley.
Man.
And we ended up going to Pepperdine. We played at the University of Pepperdine. And we had a shoot around on the beach. It was one of those special things. Feet in the sand. Coach wanted to do that. Everything was cool. And, we went to pregame meal, went back to our room, got our stuff, took a nap, got our stuff, got on the bus, went. And so I'm in the locker room. I was always the first person on the court. That was my thing. Like, people knew I was going to be the first one out there. Just to, start my routine. And my foot was killing me. And I'm like, man, what is going on? So our trainer was there, Eric, and I was like, man, my foot is like a short pain. So he kind of wrapped it up. So I went out there. I ended up playing. I had 28-10. We lost 80-81 on a backdoor dunk by Glenn McGowan. Ask me how I remember this. I don't know, but my mind is crazy when it comes to stuff like that. And so this was around Christmas time. We ended up flying back to Peoria, and Christmas was on the 25th. We had practice on the 23rd that night, and it was just like my foot was killing me. So coach was like, go to the training room, see what's going on. So we had Christmas Eve off, so I came home, and I ended up going to East Side, just to see the guys or whatever. And I didn't play in them, but you as a black man, you gonna put yourself through a little test to see how I feel. And it was killing me. I'm just stomping doing this, and I'm like, man. So Christmas Day, I drove back. We had practice that night. Couldn't practice. Trainer was like, man, you might have a stress fracture. So I'm like, what's a stress fracture? Whatever. So the next morning, our team manager took me to get an MRI. Got the MRI. Dr. Phillips and my results beat us back to campus.
Damn.
So we walking into, the small arena, the field house where we used to practice at, and I see Dr. Phillips coming out, and Eric, the trainer, he just put his hand on my shoulder and did like this. So I'm like, what's going on? So we walk in the gym, and we all met in the middle. It was me, coach, Dr. Phillips, trainer, and he was like, man, he got a stress fracture. He out 6 to 8 weeks.
Damn.
So coach kind of flipped out. He just walked off. Practice over. So I called my mom, my uncle. Now, at the time, I was on every mock draft, NBA draft, I was a projected late first round to mid second round pick. Just because of the scoring numbers, crazy numbers I was putting up. And probably 2 weeks before that, we played in a tournament in Vegas against University of Miami. Mm-hmm. And they had Darius Rice, who was he was a McDonald All-American 2000, class 2000 with us. And I had a career high, I think 38 points. I went nuts. And it was 18, 20 NBA scouts that had to see him. And I went crazy.
So you knew obviously you knew I used to be that player, but you knew scouts was going.
Oh yeah, I knew it. Coach Les, knowing what it took.
Yeah.
Before the game, he said, man, look, every player's gonna be around for you tonight. Yeah. Mm. Do what you do best because this game is gonna put you on that stage. Say less. I just went out and hammered it. And, stress fracture happened. We went 1-10 without me in the starting lineup, and my stock dropped. Yeah, because it goes back to that "what have you done for me lately" type of deal. And when I came back, I think we went 7-4, 7-3 with me back. Mm. But my timing was a little off. I mean, I still could score and put the ball in the hole, but as a team, we wasn't how we were. Yeah. We were up and down, and I still wasn't 100%. And it just injuries. It got me.
Injuries be plaguing, man. So that was your senior year, right? Yeah. Damn, senior year. Whew. And you really never had no major injuries before that?
Nah, nothing. I never missed a game. Nothing. Again, I still to this day don't know what happened. Because I was fine. We running around the hotel we 20-year-old kids. And we get to the arena and now my foot hurt. I'm like, I didn't do nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. And it just the unfortunate part of sports. Yeah. Those injuries, and we never know why. Yeah. And that was one thing I had to battle. And this is a topic I really wanted to harp on and talk about, that mental health part.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to get into that.
Man, when I tell everybody I was depressed because my dream was to make it. Yeah. to the NBA, not overseas or nothing like that. It was to make it, and it was right there. And I used to question myself. I used to question, God. I used to question like, what did I do wrong to deserve this? And then, those thoughts went through my head, and it was a point where I honestly forgot how to play basketball because I was so like
wrapped up in your own mind.
Yeah, and I had to honestly learn how to do it all over again as an adult. When I was rehab and going through that work, and I ended up bouncing back, and I had a good 9-year career in Europe and Asia, but to me, I wasn't who I was.
That potential that you know what I'm saying, that you set in your mind, not the potential nobody else had for you, but like you said, the bar you set for yourself.
Yeah, man, that mental health, that's especially with inner city black athletes, that's something that is not talked about enough.
Facts, because we grow up just, bro, just hoop, hoop your way out, or play football your way out. So all we know is, man, I'm finna hoop, I'm finna play football. And it's just like, like you say, you spend so much time doing it, it becomes your life. You really don't learn other skills. I feel like basketball, sports period, is like a specialized knowledge, It's kind of just like, bro, I've been doing this my whole life. I don't know what else I'm going to do. I don't like nothing else, but this. I can't really do, I ain't going to say can't do nothing, but, it's like, I can't do nothing but this. I don't see myself doing nothing but this. If I'm not doing this, I'm not happy. So like you said, the mental battle, especially where we come from, is we don't look at it deep enough,
Yep.
They just look at males like, man, bro, stop crying, man, stop complaining, just get through it, get over it or whatever.
Get over it. Mm-hmm. What you tripping off for? You weak, you this, and it's like, man, you don't know what's going on up here.
Yeah.
And just piggyback off of what you said, we as inner city black, ghetto, kids, we are trained. If we love this, we gonna go hard at this. Yeah. We're not even thinking about that. Yeah. What's next? Yeah. And that's with me. Like I picked my major. I got a bachelor's in criminal justice when I was at Bradley, and honestly, I picked that because it was something. I had a class, a former DEA agent, and he showed us a video. It was an older video on how the DEA paid an informant to bug Al Capone's house when all the mobsters was there. And it intrigued me so much. And I was like, man, this dude bugged this whole house in 5 minutes. And they listening to everything. And I said, man, that's cool. Yeah. Like, not the informant part now, but just the whole, aspect of that area. I'm like, man, I could do that. I could do that for 4 years knowing that I ain't going to do it. I'm going to leave. Yeah. And, it ain't gonna be one of those programs, I'm not mad. One of those bachelor's programs where I'm sitting here stressed out and can't get in the gym and work. I knew I could do that normally and then go practice what I was here to do. So that's why I picked that. And we're not trained on what if we don't, and that's really something that's missing. I say in the city schools. Post-secondary, secondary, with these athletes because, especially nowadays, you see horror stories where these athletes can't cope. Yep. They get strung out on drugs, worst case scenario, they kill themselves, stuff like that, and that's poor preparation on society's part, I think. It's just me talking, but that's what I think.
That's real, because I feel like, man, people just, as a consumers, they just use you, for, all right, it's entertainment. And then once you become, all right, he's, what I'm saying, he can't play no more, all right, let's leave him alone, push him to the side. Yep. So
on to the next.
And like you said, just like, damn, bro, my whole fan base, all these people that was loving me, now they just forgot about me. But I do feel like now, like, hoopers, and just athletes, period, now, they all open. They kind of getting into podcasts and stuff too, so where they can
telling their stories. Yeah.
And when I told you, when I hit you, I'm like, man, bro, I always tell y'all that, bro. Y'all need to get y'all story out here. Y'all need to write a book. And I'm just like, man, with this platform we built, I'm like, bro, if I can get Phil on here, man, that'd be dope. If I can get more on here, it'd be dope. And just thinking, like, I know y'all personally. I'm like, man, they not gonna want to talk about, this type of stuff.
It's real life stuff that, what they say, don't be a gatekeeper and stuff like that. This game, like I said, I got an 8-year-old son who looks up to everything I do, and I'll be failing him if I don't inform him on how to navigate this. Because he loves the game, and it's like, as a father growing up here, it's like, do you really want him to go through that?
Yeah.
But it's like, on the flip side, you encourage everything your child wants to do.
Yep.
And who are you to tell him that he can't follow a dream that he might think he want to, follow? So it's like, you know what? Let me do everything I can to kind of, don't go this way. Doing this up, watch out. So.
And that's a dope. What you just said, that's super dope, because a lot of times we just walking. We walking blind. It ain't no maps or blueprints or nobody to give you advice. So to have, like you said, you grew up with no pops like I did, and a lot of other black people. You feel me? So it's like it wasn't no map or nobody to guide you and say, nah, don't do this, don't do that. Like you said, you kind of learning as you go. So to have, being a dad, so you said, being able to tell my son, hey man, fix this little small thing, or being able to even show him things on the court, it's like, bro, this is like kind of like a cheat code. Like, all right,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I feel like the main job is introduce him first. Let's see what he do. I'm gonna introduce him, and I'm gonna give him I'm gonna push him a little bit just to see how he reacts, see how he cope. And I'm just gonna keep, obviously bringing him around. He watching it as I'm watching it. And usually it always be like, all right, they fall in love with it. And after that, it just kind of, when you go to a whole other thing. But growing up around here, it's
different.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
For you guys and young ladies that think growing up here, seeing the stuff you see is normal, as a 42-year-old educated black man, I'm gonna tell you this is not normal.
Yeah, facts.
And I just me working at the school and having that influence with the student athletes, even the non-student athletes. I tell them all the time. I say, man, a conversation I had with a couple of guys the other day. I say, I know personally 3 guys that you guys went to school with, grew up with, that got killed.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
You go to the suburban USA schools, they don't go through that.
No.
And we think it's normal because we're a product of our environment. We've been here our whole life. And, an example I use growing up, my boy had a party in Parkside every summer. And it was a thing. Everybody was going to this party. When the party, it was going to be Janet going to try to block the street off. We couldn't, but that's where everybody went. Every year it got shot up. I mean, nobody got shot, but it got shot. Oh, everybody had to hit the ground. 20 minutes later, we was back partying. That's not normal. That's not normal.
But when did you know that, when did you realize, bro, man? Because it took a while for me. Like you said, I'm 29. You just said you 40-something. And for me, it just took me a couple years ago to be like, bro, when I started kind of traveling around, I'm just like, yo, I can go out. I ain't got to look behind my back every 2 seconds or where, I'm walking in spots like, man, let me find out all the exits just in case this place gets shot up. That's just how we wired around here. We can't really have fun without being on being on your P's and your Q's. So, and like I said, when I went on time, I'm still on my P's and Q's, but I'm just like, bro, I can relax a little bit.
I can let my head out. So, and I got a circle of friends that I talk to all the time. Johnny Taylor, Marcello Robinson, my boy Money. My guy Johnny is arguably one of the smartest guys ever. And, just answering your question, when did you know? A conversation we had a couple years ago, he was like, man, the stuff that we've seen and went through is not normal.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we got to unlearn to progress in life. And at first, I'm like, what the world are you talking about? But, then as we talk about it more and, I self-reflect on everything, and it's like, man, it makes so much sense. Reading books, doing stuff like that.
Stuff that we considered lame back then,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's not, we considered it lame because we didn't see the people
Right.
that we were inspired by doing it. So I feel like that's why we was like, man, that's lame.
It opened my eyes, and it made me see a lot of things, like financial literacy.
Yeah.
That wasn't a topic of conversation when we were coming up. I'm pretty sure with y'all too, not coming up, but that other, they had those conversations.
That was their basketball. That was their football.
We catching on late, which is not a problem, but we gotta unlearn some things to know that this not normal. This is, and it took my guys to kind of show that to me, and just the whole credit type of deal. Like, that wasn't something that we talked about or we was thinking about. Let's go hoop, let's go to the movies, let's do this, let's do that. But yeah, man, like that psychological piece as an adult is big.
Yeah. So, like you say, the stuff that we thought was normal is, bro, like the whole time we living in it was a rat race.
Yep.
It's just like, dang, okay, I can see why. I love mine, but damn, I see why we keep going through the same thing. Or like you say, when you got older, you start making money, and you like, man, I'm making more money, but my living ain't really increasing because every time I got a new car, I got a bigger house. Yeah. It's just like I'm still stuck. Like, how do I kind of get out of this, circle? And it's just really realizing, understanding, like you said, learning and reading and self-improvement. Period.
Yeah, self-improvement.
All right, so after your playing career, like you said, you had a long career overseas. And also, we can't forget, you had a stint, you know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about the stint you had with Miami Heat, right?
Yep. That 2004 NBA draft, I worked out for, some teams, that summer, but I really wasn't 100%. I ended up hurting my knee working out to rehab my foot.
Yeah.
So it was like one thing on top of the next. I ended up signing with agency Goodwin Sports Management. And for y'all that don't know, Goodwin Sports is who LeBron was signed with when he first came out. And Goodwin was his agent. And I signed with a guy named Noah Kroom, who's actually from East St. Louis.
Yeah.
But he wanted more for himself, so he left, got his law degree from Stanford, stuff like that. And so he, told me, he used to call me all the time. This is when a lot of agents were, trying to reel me in. But after my injury with my foot, when I missed those 11 games, he was the one guy that stayed. He would come to games and, hey, I'm here, support you, because he saw what I was capable of doing.
Yeah.
Where those other agents they were there, but not as much. So I ended up signing with him, and that he was like, man, watch the draft. Stranger things can happen. So I watched the whole draft in the dark in Peoria. I'll never forget. And they had 3 picks that year. It was Darrell Wright was the first pick in the first round.
Solid player. So.
Then they drafted Matt Freege from Vanderbilt, 6'9" forward. And they drafted a guy from Spain, Albert Morales. So immediately after that draft, my phone rang. I mean, like within 10 seconds. So Noah called me. He was like, "Man, Miami want to sign you to a summer league in progression to training camp, deal. Okay, cool. So, I called my coach. He was like, can you get to, a fax machine where I can fax to you? This is showing my age again. So I called Coach. Coach met me at the basketball office. We faxed it. We got the fax. He looked it over, sent it to his attorney. He looked it over. We signed it, faxed it back. That night, I drove back home. That's when I had braids. Called my boy Johnny. His uncle cut my hair like 1 o'clock in the morning. I flew out to Miami at probably like 9 o'clock the next morning. I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, man, we got to do a physical. We walking in the gym. I see Alonzo Mourning running on the treadmill. One of the biggest human beings I've ever seen in my life personally. Like, what? Like, that was my introduction to American Airlines Arena. I don't know what it's called now. But, I went to that, and I was so nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I knew I was in shape. I knew I was ready, but just not understanding fully playing-wise what the NBA was about. We had practice, and Eric Spoelstra was our summer league coach. Stan Van Gundy was still the head coach.
Right.
But Spoelstra was our summer league coach. And, it was media day, for the rookies. They taking pictures. We're in the gym waiting for them to get done. I'm just shooting free throws. And true story, Dwayne Wade was there getting ready for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And, everybody that got invited to Summer League, he's walking around introducing himself to everybody. And he walked up to me, and he stopped and looked at me. And he was like, man, I know you. I'm like, yeah, we played against each other in the IBCA All-Star game. He was like, yeah, you beat St. Louis, you played with D-Miles. Mm-hmm. And we started talking.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you a shooter, man. He was like, man, I'm tell you something. And this, I promise you, this what kind of made my whole stress level go down. He said, what the coach said, what you do best is what he is looking for. And after he said that, I was like, oh, yeah. And just my competitive fire just lit. And, in practice, I used to torch everybody. And they ended up start calling me young fella. Bob McAdoo, who's top 75 all time, when he was one of the assistant coaches. And I kind of gravitated to him. And young fella is kicking y'all ass today. We'd come in, who had the young fella gonna bust today, Paul? And I was like, man, my confidence just went to another level. And, we stayed in Coconut Grove. That's where our hotel was. But, American Airlines was downtown. Yeah. And I know they did this on purpose. They used to send 2 shuttle buses, one early to pick us up, to take us to the arena, and then one probably like an hour before practice. It was probably like a 15-minute drive. And I used to be the only one on that first bus.
Damn. They did say, though, a lot of them pro athletes, though, a lot of them really don't be having that crazy work ethic. Like, it really be like only the, great ones for real.
Now, we used to run suicides in practice, and the guys on the team used to complain and complain. I used to sit there and be like, first of all, we got to make it in 31 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I'm used to running 28 seconds. Yeah. Like, this is nothing.
Yeah. You got 3 seconds.
Man, and Melvin Sanders, who actually, played with Mo, he was there. Me and him got real close. Marquis Perry that went to SLU. All of us clicked. Yeah. Even Darrell Wright, we all hung out together. Mm-hmm. Josh Powell was another guy. He was on them Lakers team. Mm-hmm. He was number 21 on the Lakers with braids. If you look at pictures, all of us gravitated to each other. We go to Cheesecake Factory after practice every day. And we ended up starting to work out extra. And man, it was just a dope experience, man. And, fast forward to the last game, I ended up tweaking my knee. And when I dislocated my patella, the last game of Summer League.
Injuries. Always, man. Damn injuries.
But it was
Could have been.
that experience right there, man. It was awesome. Like I did my thing. I look myself in the mirror and say, man, I handle my business. That
Yeah. And that's it, man. At the end of the day, you feel like, did I lay it all on the floor? You know, did I leave everything out here on the court? Did I show who I was or who I am? You know what I'm saying? I can live with that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, man, the NBA, they looking for a role player. You know, it's everybody can't be the man. We all know that.
They used to tell me it's a numbers game. You got to play the system. You got to play the role. And I just went in like it was defense possession. Well, I'm slobbing at the mouth because I wanted it so much.
Yeah.
And you see other guys asking, "Why you playing so hard?" It's like, what?
Yeah. See why?
I know one gear at this time of my life. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to get to.
I'm trying to get here.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to that level, like you say, because the NBA is that's the cream of the cream. That's the top notch. That's where every hooper imagine themselves playing on that NBA floor in front of all them fans. And like you say, bro, that obviously the money part is good, but just like you said, this is the highest level. So you've been able to compete with the best players in the world. That's just like an honor. Like, okay, all this dedication I put in since I was, a shorty, it shit paid off.
My granddad, L.A. Gilbert, used to tell me all the time, man, go hard or don't do it at all. Yeah. He was a man of few words, but when he spoke, you listened. That was, my whole family. And, when I started progressing with the game, he used to grab me and be like, man, just don't stop. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't good enough. You can't do this. You too small. You too this. Keep going. And
that's real.
That was my thing.
That's real, man. So how did you, transition from that to obviously, like you said, playing a long stint overseas? What made you transition into the coaching?
Man, it honestly fell in my lap. Tony Young, who, we were at, he was at SIU Carbondale when I was at Bradley. He, we had a good friendship back then, and he was coaching at SLU when he stopped playing. And it was a summertime. It was 2013. I was home, from Germany. That was the last country I played in. And he called me. He was like, bro, man, I'm thinking about applying for this job at, coach's ed job at East St. Louis. And, you from around here, you don't refer to it as East St. Louis. You gonna say East Side. I'm like, dude, it's East Side. We laughed about it. He was like, man, I want you to come with me.
Yeah.
And I said, Tony, man, I don't want to coach. Like, I'm still playing. I'm not even thinking about coaching.
Right.
And he was like, man, just think about it, bro. He was like, man, I trust you. Yeah. We've been in battles together. He was like, I know you know what it takes. You know the game. Yeah. I was just like, man, whatever. He was like, man, just think about it. I'll hit you up later this week. I'm like, all right, cool, though. So the next day, my agent called me. And, at this time, I'm in the later years of my basketball career playing-wise. And I'm coming off of a great season. Yeah. Where I end up leading the team to the playoffs for the first time in the program's history, club's history, I'm sorry. Averaging 20 points a game. Like, I had a number. Yeah. This was the number I wanted next year. Yeah. Toward the end. I'm not going no less. I feel like I earned the right to, this is what I want to be playing.
Yeah, I need my payout.
And, he called me. This was all week. It was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They saying this. This team saying this. This team saying that. And I just got fed up. And I told him, I said, man, you know what, I'm done. Give it to somebody else. And he was like, man, you sure, man? We just, we go back with him. I said, I don't even want to go back. I was tired of the back and forth negotiation part. Because I'm like, man, I feel like I earned this.
Yeah. No matter what.
And, it was a Friday morning. I picked up the phone. I called Tony. I said, man, let's do it. Yeah. So he applied. He got it. And, with the respect that I got from, get from the city, it was a no-brainer. And, you know, we end up, that was Deshaun Munson's senior year. And we were good. We ended up losing to Cahokia on just a fluke play in overtime in the sectional championship. But that was my introduction to coaching.
That was your first year?
That was my first year.
Hey, I remember that. That's the year Cahokia went to state.
Yeah. They lost in the championship game.
That's the same year we went to state. I remember that game. I was actually at that game.
Yeah, that was my first year coaching, and it was like, I love the aspect of teaching, you know, these student athletes, these young men, what I learned and accumulated over a certain amount of, you know, period of my life when it came to the game. Of course, it wasn't on that level.
Yeah.
But, you know, where you identify yourself as a good coach is, can you take this where you learn at this high level and dumb it down enough for them to understand it and they carry it out? That's, you know, to you young coach, I've been coaching 14 years now. I consider myself a vet. For you young coaches out there that's really thinking about coaching, that's where you identify yourself. Can you do that? Can you take, I didn't learn watching Michael Jordan play up here, doing these plays, the triangle offense. Are you going to come in and try to put your team through the, you know, teach them triangle offense and get frustrated and mad that they're not doing it at the level of Michael Jordan? You're not ready yet. Because you know dang old well, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And you know, if you coming into this thinking as a player still, when you teaching and doing all that, that's another, you know, type of identifier that you're not really ready, or you can't get there yet. I can't get, but if you coming into it with those type of mindsets, especially inner city kids, you gotta dumb it down. That's no disrespect to them. It's, you know, you gotta adjust.
Yeah. And one thing though too, I never like, you know, when you, cause I see you coaching and training, you know, and you never like, I feel like some coaches be like, man, when I was coming up, I used to do this, man. I used to do that. You never really compared yourself to nobody you coached. You know, you kind of told them little small stories for motivation, obviously, but you never was like, man, I could dunk, reverse dunk. Why you can't do it? You know, or say something. I feel like that's where coaches go wrong when they always compare their personal things that they did when they played, trying to tell these young dudes, and it's just like, bro, you're not playing no more, bro.
Hey, your time is up.
Yeah.
Just teach. Yeah. Teach the game and pray and hope that with time they get it. Yeah. But like you said, if you going into it, man, when I did this, or why y'all not doing this, man? When I play, give me the ball. No, man, the kids are different. Yeah. It's a different time. Yeah. Kids don't even really watch the game, though. Nah, they don't. That's so crazy. You can't compare the eras. Yeah. To me, that's like comparing Jordan to LeBron. Like, you can't do it. You can't do it, man.
Can't do it. But you did coach some big name players, specifically, like you said, Deshaun Munson, Jeremiah Tillman. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. I'm gonna ask you a question because I want to know what you're gonna say. We're gonna start with just East Side, East St. Louis first. Give me the top 5 best players to you. Like, obviously, these players from the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, everybody gonna have their own 5. I want to hear your top 5 that you seen from coaching, play with, whatever.
In East St. Louis.
We're gonna start with East St. Louis first, and then we're gonna go to, you feel me?
Oh man,
that's tough. That's a lot of hoopers, bro. It's a lot of hoopers.
You want like in order or
man? Just give me 5. It ain't gotta be in order.
My top 5: Deshaun Munson is
it's unbelievable,
man. Look,
it's unbelievable. I'm gonna give you a story real quick before you even go. Deshaun Munson is the only player that I have ever seen get a quadruple double. Multiple times he did. I played against him in the summer, like you said, the year I guess your first year. You actually coached that summer against us. He did some amazing stuff. I was even talking trash to him. Like, you know me, I'm just a little regular competitor. But I'm talking crazy to him to where my brother like, yo, bro, chill out. Leave this nigga alone. I'm talking about, bro, he shot his own free throw, got a rebound, dunked it. We took the ball and he stole it, turned around and dunked it on somebody else. I said, man, this nigga's amazing.
He man, like, to me, complete basketball player. Now, people question his jump shot and all of that. If you a hooper, you a hooper.
Yeah.
To me, he's the best pure point guard in East St. Louis history. Now, I might get back whatever, but I would go Munson, Jamal Horton. That's a name. East St. Louis, Lincoln, 95, 96. He, along with Michael Jordan, Jamal Horton is the person that got me to love basketball.
Yeah.
If you look back, guess what number Jamal Horton wore at Lincoln?
22.
22.
Yeah.
I've never told him this story. That's my boy. Talk to him. I haven't seen him in a while, but when we do sit, we see each other, we talk, we laugh, hours. I remember my 6th grade year, Collinsville tournament. Lincoln played Peoria Central with A.J. Guyton.
Mm-hmm.
I was behind Lincoln bench because our coach was Lincoln's statistician. So we used to go to Lincoln and shoot around on Sundays, watch them practice. He took it to the Collinsville tournament. I stood up the whole game and was like, oh my God, this dude is amazing.
He's dogging.
I put Munson at the 1, Jay Horton at the 2.
That's getting good.
Number 3, Tommy Liddell.
Damon.
Probably the most skilled basketball player you would ever come across just watching the game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Damon.
And I've been knowing him my whole life. So, you know, I've seen him from when he was little to shooting up to 6'5", 6'6", going to SLU. Should have been just retiring from the NBA. But, you know, systems change in college, whatever. It happens. Now, where it gets tricky is the 4 or 5. Darius Miles, to me, is the best player in St. Louis. Hands down. And I might be biased. Yeah. But just seeing everything that he did now, again, going back to eras like LaFonso Ellis, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
You see clips or whatever, but you can never gain an appreciation for something that you didn't witness, whether it's playing with or watching. Yeah. And I will put D Miles at the 4.
Flash first. Because you excluding yourself. Yeah, I knew you was going to be humble and not put yourself on the list.
Man, you got
But you definitely top 5 for sure. You for sure top 5. I just knew you was going to take the humble approach and not put yourself. But at your 5, ooh, I got an idea of who I think you gonna say.
I mean, it's tough. Jeremiah was Jeremiah, but it's like, now to me, he's top 10 just because of what he did at that position.
Right.
But I mean, man, that 5 is tough. Like I'm really drawing a blank. I mean, you got LaFonso. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see him play.
So he's different.
He's a great now. Woo, he's a great. That's from what he did. But I don't know.
So we're gonna leave it blank. So look,
I don't know.
on to it. You coached Jeremiah, right?
Yeah.
What's crazy? You coached them. I remember y'all played the Highland tournament. Y'all actually played Jason Tatum.
Yep.
That was one of the craziest games I probably ever seen. Because Jason Tatum got dunked on that game. I remember.
Trey.
Yeah, and that was
Wow,
wild.
Crozier.
But Jason Tatum was doing moves, bro.
Oh, man.
Jason Tatum was doing pro moves. I don't even know how you game playing against him that day, but he was doing pro moves the whole game, bro.
You could not.
I said he going to the NBA.
At the time, he was about 6'7", 6'8". You can't. The stuff that he did, you can't prepare for.
Shout out to look, I got my Tatum shirt on, man. Tatum is. He was why? He was one of them. I seen it. I said, man, he is definitely 100% going to the NBA. I can see it.
I knew that when he was younger at Maplewood High School, grabbing me, Phil, let's shoot around the world. And I beat him, and he, come on, we gotta go again. I'm sitting there like, man, this dude is different. This dude is different. So, yeah, man, all the stuff that he's getting championship accolade, he deserves it because dude is special. He is a special type of human being.
Yeah, facts. And then on top of that, like you say, you can't teach 6'8". On top of that skill and work ethic that he had growing up. Yeah. On top of being 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is, 6'10" now.
You surrounded by machines. His pops, Larry. Like, you surrounded by that. You said it when we sitting here. If you see it every day, all day, you have no choice but to conform.
Yep. Well, I'm off on you, man. Going to soak it in like a sponge. Yeah. That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. Ooh. Ooh, but yeah, it's so much. It's so many. I'm talking about young and old too, though. It ain't even gotta be. Young and old, man. Any era, top 5, 6'1", 3-on-4 players.
All right, now this list is insane, but I'm sitting here. I'm gonna go Morris back at the 1.
Good choice. I was a dog like that though, man. Cause that was too easy for your first one. You just said it.
Hey, just sitting there watching, man. Under control, pass first, bucket get 50 when he wanted to. Defensively, dictated the pace and all of that. Athletic, getting at the rim, rebounding, and push at the same time. It was different, man. Man, at the 2.
At the 1.
I'll say Larry.
Larry
Hughes.
I like this team already.
Just area wise,
this is tough one. I ain't no fake. We got
put D Miles at the 4.
Okay. Mo, Larry, D Miles. 2 more.
No, I'm putting D Miles at the 5.
Boy. Y'all know 3-on-4, 6'1" basketball, man. This is one of the hardest questions ever, man. This is the hardest question somebody can ask.
Man.
Say Mo, Larry Hughes, D Miles.
At the 3. Just in my eyes with this group, I put Munson at the 3. Yeah. I put Munson at the 3.
I'm not mad at that at all. Munson, I feel like Munson is an NBA player. Like, he could be an NBA.
Think of him in the Greg Popovich system.
Yeah, and he will average a triple-double, I guarantee.
Like, man, and at the 4,
I'm gonna throw a recommendation. I feel like Tatum probably could,
Yeah.
Tatum could probably get that for.
That's who I would put at the 4.
Tatum,
that's exactly who
Tatum probably, he got
with that group, you got 4 guards. Yeah. And you got a shot blocker in D Miles that could get the rebound and push it. So at any time you could defend and go 5 out. Damn. And that's gonna be hard to guard.
That 5 is crazy, man. especially everybody in their prime. Oh my God, that would be
that's a special group.
that five probably beating
All right.
some a lot of. I'm talking about just in this area. That five is beating shit states. They best players fives, literally.
On tour with that group.
Yeah, for real. I bet my house up. Literally. Yeah. So man, what else I'm gonna ask, man? Phil Gilbert. Now, you say you're coaching at the high school level, right? In 5 years, 10 years, where do you see yourself?
I mean, right now I'm director of athletics for the district here in Madison, the great city of Madison. Um, I graduate. I already have a MBA in sport management. I graduate May 9th with an MPA, Madison Public Administration, which kind of feeds into the 501(c) nonprofit status. And I have my training, academy that not academy, but my Phil Gilbert training that I do, and I feel like God is kind of speaking to me, to telling me to kind of really pursue that.
Yeah.
And I look at the avenues of my life, that stuff that's falling in my lap with that master's and what it nonprofit status. And it's like, man, I can really take off in that.
Yeah.
And so, I look at myself in 5 years really tapping into that avenue and really taking off.
Yeah. So, because I always tell you, man, I see you at the, at the highest level. The knowledge you know what I'm saying? The way you still passionate about it, like, it's not normal. And I forgot to even mention, man, it's a full circle moment. You were able to coach with, somebody that you looked up to, like a brother that gave you game. Being on the sidelines with Mo Baker, you feel me? Coaching at Madison High School and even going to basically, I was going to win a championship. I made it to state or whatever, and, COVID happened. But how was it coaching with somebody that you looked up to?
Man, and I've always said this, like, coming into it, I already had 5-year coaching experience. And when he, told me that he was gonna do it, I say, man, I'm not gonna let you feel it nothing.
Yeah.
So you just coach. I got everything else. The paperwork, drive the bus, you just coach. And I knew that, because of our relationship, it was gonna translate to the kids.
Yeah.
And it did that year, that 2020 team. Man, look,
that's smooth.
One of the best teams I've been around as far as self accountability, work ethic, and just overall wanting it. That group, I mean, we had fun. We had fun getting better. We had fun just in general. And it was just an awesome group. And, at the head, with Coach Reese and, with me assisting him, we didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I know them meetings and film sessions was crazy.
It came natural because we bounced stuff off each other.
Yeah.
Basketball wise. And, we came up with schemes and just concepts, and it was never like he didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Like he knew, I know what you're talking about, do it. Like, we got it, let's go, and it worked. And with that group, with your brother, Walt, arguably one of the best point guards I've ever seen play.
Yeah, it's real smooth. Shifty.
J-Mo,
Rod Dillingham.
Them three right there, like that's a coach's dream, man. Vonnie, Walt, Jalen Moore, like as they went, we went.
Yeah.
And they were so close that it just translated. Everybody bought in. And what really impressed me about that group was that they held each other accountable on a different level, and it showed out there. And they bought into everything that we were preaching to them, and it worked. And, it's just an unfortunate thing they shut us down when they shut us down, but I really didn't see anybody stepping in our way, to the state championship.
It let the good. I booked my room and everything. I ain't gonna lie, I was ready.
I'm still hurt by that, man.
But man, that's bro. To me, seeing success in high school, like you said, going to state playing with NBA players, and not just playing against them, but dominating those players. Even like you said, giving a stand with the Miami Heat for the time that you did, going overseas, killing those dudes, transitioning to the coaching world where you having success. Like you said, you was one game away from going to state, and then just ultimately coming back, not even to a school that you went to, but partnering up, teaming up with a guy like, Reese, and, coaching at his alma mater, and y'all seeing that type of success. I feel like that's a dream, that's
Definitely.
You can't make a better story. And that's why I always say, like, with those injuries, it's kind of like the universe. Like, it was just like, dang, man, this was meant for me,
You can't script it. It's just like this, even with my basketball playing, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I made it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Coaching wise, that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't even on my mind, but that's what it happened. It just, I look at it, and I look at the success Reese is having coaching with the Indiana Pacers.
And I was just finna say that too. Like, just seeing him going from that year, because it was after that season, right? He got caught up from the coach at the Indiana Pacers, and he ended up getting an NBA job after that season.
It was just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I tell them that all the time. That was bound to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, you can't script it. If it wasn't meant for you to play and you went about it the right way, you're a great person, you didn't cheat the game will reward you at some point, whether it's coaching, front office, something.
That's real.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
Facts.
And, you look at the success he's having, not only coaching, but in life.
Yeah.
That's a testament to the type of person that he is.
Yeah, literally, though. Like you say, he never burned a bridge. Yeah. The way he carried himself and everything was just like, dang, it really works. Like, you might not want it might not happen when you want it to happen. But like you say, bro, keep going. It's bound. It's something. You will never not have reached that level of success if you just keep going and keep working. Right. It's pretty much impossible. And I tell you all the time, man, you next. You literally gonna be on that stage, like you say, and that field soon. And I really believe that, because the stuff that is like, personally, you ain't gonna say it, but you too big for high school. The stuff you need to be on the top level with them guys. I can see it, I can visualize it, because I look at you and Mo as, to me, the best two dudes, that ever, for real, in life, that I have ever watched, and I just sit back and be like, bro, I'm happy I could be around these dudes and ask them anything basketball. It's like literally having a cheat sheet. I can just call y'all, hey man, what's up with this? Y'all really got me into coaching, to be honest. I was literally like, man, bro, they teaching these young dudes stuff, they motivate them. I'm like, bro, I want to help these guys. Or even like you coach at the high school, I'm at the middle school. I told you, like, man, I want to help you win. So I'm going to grab these younger kids. I'm going to get them ready for you. And, I'm sending them your way so you can, win and all that. But, yeah, all that is just, like, inspiring. Like you say, y'all never burn bridges. The people that y'all know y'all still cool with, y'all never hated on nobody. And y'all still pushing. Even with y'all sons, it's like, bro, y'all don't know how lucky y'all got it. PJ or Kel, but y'all daddies, y'all got a cheat sheet. It's a map. Not saying that y'all know the exact route to take, do this, but it's just like as soon as you walking the wrong way, it's kind of like, all right, now go this way. And that's an underrated blessing to have, man. Somebody that knows so much on something that you want to do.
I just look at, like, with my son, he's 8 now. He's around, I talk about this team that I'm coaching this year. Like, these guys are arguably some of the best guys ever. And I have no problem with me going over here, my son with them, and I know he's good, he's protected, and they're not teaching him bad habits.
Yeah.
And, he looks up to, especially this group this year, he looks up to them so much. And, I want to give them a shout out and them credit because I know playing for me is not easy, but we go through the battles together, and my son is right there. He practices with him. He over gym, all of that, and it's like, man, I ain't say he practice with him, but
Maybe a mix.
He get some shots up with him, and they encourage him like I do, and they hold him accountable when he sees it, and it's like, man, that's just a testament to how these guys work and their appreciation for me, and also they see something in PJ.
Yeah.
And I love surrounding him with those positive influences daily. And even when Kel was young and Reese was here, that was one thing that we always did. We put them out there, like shoot around, one-on-one, like stuff like that. You look at the success Kel is having at high school now. It's just the surroundings.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that and I could speak for Mo, like, growing up, we didn't really have that.
Yeah.
So we doing everything we can because we know what it takes.
Yeah.
To put ours in that situation, to see and understand, okay, I shouldn't do this, I'm supposed to do this. And it's on them to figure out. And I'm a relatively young parent, I only got one. I only have one. I look at him, and when I'm at his games, I gotta catch myself.
Yeah.
Because he plays, and he's like a Scottie Pippen on his team, point forward. He brings it up sometimes, he slides, he gets to the free throw line probably 8 times a game. It's crazy. And I gotta catch myself sometimes of trying to coach him from the sideline. Yeah. It's like, man, allow him to figure it out. Now I'm, halftime or after the game, we don't talk, but you never want to strip the joy away at that age from the kids.
And I was just going to say, how do you separate, like you said, going from dad mode to, coach mode?
It is not easy. It's not easy, but, it's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
With me, because when he first started playing, I'm yelling and screaming, and it's like, man, let me stop, because now he's listening to me and the coach. And as a coach, you don't never want your players to do that. Yeah. So you gotta kind of, understand the where it needs to stop. And I think I'm doing a decent job. I have my moments now. Don't get me wrong, but I find myself just keeping my mouth shut, allowing him to figure it out, and he usually does. And it's a beautiful thing to watch that. He wears the 22. He knows what it represents, but he don't know. But he's wearing it proud, and he's such a great kid. Everybody loves being around him, and he works his butt off.
Yeah, because watching him train. See, I see it up close. I see it all the time. From training and what he's doing and how hard he's going already doing drills. He ain't just just playing around. And the same way you push other kids, you pushing your son. You ain't giving him no passes. And just seeing what he doing, his work ethic, I'm like, bro, this kid's gonna be crazy, man. And then on top of that, I'm already he already tall. For his age, I'm like, he lanky. Hey, PJ might be about 6'6", 6'8", man. He might be one of those lanky, one of them Jason Tatum prototype. His shoulders already spreading. He already got a tight
half the battle right there, man. Boy.
If I feel like that's my projection. I can see PJ being 6'6", 6'8". That's where I think he could probably land. That's just my projection. But yeah, his work ethic already is just like, man, wow, he doing stuff at 8 that, bro, I couldn't really do in freshman year of high school.
I know I could.
Yeah.
I tell him, he messed me all the time. Dad, was I better than you when you was 8? Yeah, but man, I mean, like I spoke on it a little bit earlier. He says he loves it, but he at that age, you don't know what you love yet. I tell him all the time, you like it, you might like it a lot, but you don't love it yet. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't make him do this. Yeah. I might give him a little nudge, but I don't make him do it. And, you know, he's the type of kid, he gets up, do push-ups, he got the little silent ball in the house, he'll do 100 on each hand cross. So he does little stuff like that because even though people knock the technology here these days, it definitely serves its purpose. Definitely. Now, do you want to monitor? Yeah, but you know, I find him a lot of times in his room watching clips. And, you know, it just comes full circle. He gets the ball and goes in the living room and does what he sees. And I'm just like, man, that's the same thing he got used to do.
Because that's where, like, you get your imagination from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From watching it. That is where imagination, whether you watching highlight clips or whatever, full games, that's where you get your imagination from. So like you said, now I got to go practice this move Dwayne Wade did. Or, you know what I'm saying? And you always, every player resembles somebody in a way. Somebody inspired them. So it's just, I feel like it's a must. But how do you feel like with PJ being, you know, advanced? I feel like a lot of people come up to you like, man, get my son like him. What's like some word of advice for parents that's, you know, that hasn't played at that super high basketball level like you, and that's want their kids to be good, or, you know, they want you to train their kids? What some advice that you can give them?
This happened actually yesterday. He had 3 games yesterday, and he made a move. He got the rebound, he pushed it, and he picked it up at the 3-point line and cradled it and got an and one. And the guy next to me was like, man, you could tell he been in the gym. And, you know, my response always is, man, he got a lot of work to do. Yeah. Like, he's working. Yeah. And he was like, man, whenever you do training, man, let me know because I want to get my son. I need him to do stuff like that. And my advice all the time is, man, just keep them going. Yeah. Keep them going. Keep them going. Don't stop. Let them be a kid, but try not to allow them to pick up those bad habits because it's going to happen anyway because there's just the world we live in, but try to stay on top of them because, you know, I mean, as much as PJ, you know, he gets a free throw line, he scores, he also misses layups, he also turns the ball over. It just comes with the territory, and, you know, you as a parent, you just want to prepare them for different aspects of the game where they can't make a mistake because it's going to happen. Yeah, right. You just want to limit it as much as you can, and, you know, at their age, they don't understand it. It's fun to them. Yeah. And, you know, you just want to keep it as fun as you can, allowing them to still work at it with it being fun. You know, that's my biggest advice when it comes to training. I mean, I'm not Coach K or Tom Izzo or Pat Ryan. I'm new. I'm not that, but I've been around the game enough. Yeah. And I've seen enough to know that at that age group, when they get a certain age, they might not want to do it no more.
Like burnt out or something.
Don't let it break your heart. You know what I'm saying? You prepare them for whatever. And that's what I try to do with mine. And, you know, that's my advice for them is keep them going. Keep them engaged in the game. Watching it, playing it. Man, I just remember Christmas Day, we watched every game that came on. From San Antonio, that first game.
10 o'clock game.
All the way to the last. And he just watching everything. Telling me, oh, he did this, he did. And I'm just like, dang.
And PJ down there right now, playing a basketball game on his phone. He's sub basketball all the time. And like you say, it's nothing forced. Or you introduced them organically. Like you say, you fell in love with it. You're going. And like you said, you supporting them, you giving them little tips here and there. You pushing them. And I feel like that's the perfect relationship. And also, it's like you said, it's not just basketball 24/7 with y'all. It's we still having fun. We doing fun stuff, and that all that balance is. I feel like that's perfect to where I look at you and y'all relationship, and I'm like, damn, I need to do that with my son. I'll look at Mo, with Kel. I need to do that, And I just steal stuff from everybody, even with Stacy, shout out Stacy.
Yep.
I take stuff from everybody, every parent, and I just kind of like, all right, my son, still young, but I'm putting it back in my head and just, all right.
When it's time, you prepare for it.
Getting ready for it, for sure. So, man, like I said, I feel like with me, it's a no-brainer. When my son get of age and, I introduce him, obviously, he training with you and Mo. You know what I'm saying? That's just a no-brainer. I feel like everybody, especially around here, they should be trying to figure out how can I get in the gym with Phil Gilbert, man. Is Phil Gilbert even training other people's kids? What's the plan as far as, are you willing to train other kids? Or you know what I'm saying? Is this, like you spoke on the academy earlier, but is that something like that you would be interested in doing as far as group workouts, individual workouts, or you talk about it all the time, getting your own building, you know what I'm saying, to where you can literally do everything of the sort. Because I feel like having resources is the main thing with the success of great basketball players.
Yeah.
For example, Tatum, I feel like he always had resources to a gym, to where he was never like, okay, wintertime he can get in a gym if needed. You know what I'm saying? Through connections his dad built or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he had access to a gym year round, pretty much 24/7, So how, like I said, are you willing to train other people's kids? And what, I'm trying to think, are you willing to train other people's kids? That's what
Oh, absolutely. That's my passion. I love seeing kids, even adults, get better if they willing to put the work in. And I last season, I started it, and we were doing it on the weekends, and it was like a great time. And I've witnessed the kids get better and better, the ones that were consistently coming. And I get texts now, man. Thank you. I remember you showing her this or him that, and here come a video of them doing it. I'm like, oh man. And I see it with mine all the time. We working on the move and did for a month. We go out on the game between cross when we get to the basket. Yeah. And it's like those are the moments for me where I get the most satisfaction. Not money, like I tell people all the time, I got a son that do it. I'm gonna be in the gym anyway.
Facts.
So if you want to get some work in, let's go. I'm not gonna turn anybody away ever, and I need everybody to hit this.
And I witnessed it. I seen it.
Yeah, but let's go. Let's do it. You gonna work? We gonna work.
Facts.
We gonna work. So, I'm looking. We played in a lot of Saturday shootouts this year, and so my Saturday has been crazy, but it kind of slows down now. And I'm actually going to start back, putting it out there that it's time to get better. Yeah. So, group work, individual work, let's get it. It's, I'll be selfish if I'm not giving away the tools that I learned and accumulated over the years. And that's all I'm trying to do. Kids don't watch enough basketball. They don't play enough basketball. They don't work at it enough. And if I got an avenue to do that personally, to orchestrate it and, introduce it, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So, I'm all for it.
And it's kind of like, bro, you going back to that lady that, showed you when you first, So it's somebody got to, do it.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, I don't know. Maybe the universe put you through all that, like you said, and brought you back to give, something bigger to possibly teach them something and change their life with basketball.
That's it.
And I don't know, man.
The game ain't going nowhere no time soon. You might as well be the best at it.
Facts. Don't short yourself. Don't cheat yourself. I always say, don't cheat yourself.
So my mom used to tell me, if you going into something saying, man, I wish I could have done this, I would have done this, it's too late. Don't make it too late.
Facts, man. Good, great interview. Not a good, but a great interview. Good, great podcast. Great stories. Any advice? It ain't got to be basketball. Any advice, period, man, that you can give to our viewers. It could be about anything, man. Parenting, life itself, whatever, mental, whatever, man. Just some good for the people.
One thing, man, that always put yourself first. And, you might look at me like, what you mean? Think about it, relationship-wise, I'm just speaking on relationship-wise. If you're not happy with yourself, how can you make somebody else happy? It don't even make sense. In the career field, we all been in places or been in positions where we just working to work. We not mentally there. We checked out, but it's a check. And sometimes God speaks to you. Put yourself first. And you look up, you take a leap of faith. You might go from $90,000 a year to $190,000 a year because you took that step and you said, my self happiness is more important than anything. Yes, man.
Take that risk.
Honor and value self before anything else. Because, this is some advice somebody gave me. PJ gonna grow up one day. He gonna get a girlfriend. He gonna go to college. What I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so he ain't gonna forget about you, but embrace these moments now because when you get older, what's up, Pop? All right, man, I'll holler at you later. Yeah. And if you're not happy with you or doing something with you, you're gonna be miserable. And that's some advice I really had to take in and comprehend and understand because that little dude with me, he's glued. Yeah. So it's like, all right, man, you know what I mean? Get it together. I mean, not like that, but it's like, just valuing self. When I didn't, I thought about it, but it was an afterthought. It wasn't in the forefront of my life. So now that's how I'm going about it. I'm doing everything I can for myself to make myself happy, to make a better situation for him. And when I'm gone, he can carry it on. So
that's deep, man.
Be happy.
Yes, be happy. You heard it from the man, the legend, Mr. Phil. Appreciate you for coming through, dog.
Yes, sir.
I didn't think we was gonna be able to make this happen,
no,
but I appreciate you for coming. Definitely, man. The stories, everything. I know somebody can watch this and be inspired. Somebody from the same background, going through the same things, or went through the same things, whatever. They're gonna appreciate this one. Like I said, I appreciate you for all the stuff you taught me, basketball and life, to now parenting and even now coaching. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, y'all, this man is a legend, dog. It's me. I'm giving you your flowers. Literally, I see the consistency. I see the dedication. I see it, and I see you balancing everything. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, if I need to call about relationship advice, this man gonna answer, dog, and he gonna tell me what's real and what's not. He gonna let me know, and he ain't saying it to be cocky on nothing, or he just give me real uncle, love. Because like I say, I don't have a pops to call and ask for advice, so I look up to Phil, you know what I'm saying, or Mo, or Pee Wee, or just other people, in my circle that's dad figures. So like I said, I appreciate you, man, for everything. It's me giving my flowers to this man. You feel me? And look, we're gonna anything like that. Like I said, Phil got some training coming on. So if y'all want y'all kids, y'all want them to get prepared for the real world, this is the guy, man. Y'all see it. And we're going to drop, hey, I'm going to give y'all you got Instagram and everything, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me your Instagram and where to find you at.
Phil Gilbert Basketball. Philip Gilbert Basketball is my Instagram. Same as Facebook. I respond to everything. I'm always doing that. Never should say that, but I'm very responsive, and I'm here to help. In any way I can, especially with the game. So yeah,
That is, man. Hey, I'm telling y'all, I'm holding them to it. We got content coming, y'all. I'm gonna get them in this YouTube, TikTok real world, and we got some content coming, y'all. Y'all gotta listen to these man. What this man telling y'all? He ain't giving nothing but games and gyms, and it ain't gonna do nothing but help you be a better coach, dad, player, all around, man. Hey, we out.